Hey everyone, this is Anthony from the Console Gaming Crew, and we could not be happier to announce that we are now part of the Boss Rush Podcast Network and are featured on BossRushGames.com. BossRushGames.com is a place where you can find up-to-date news articles, blogs, and podcasts about video games. In addition to that, there is a growing collection of podcasts in not just the gaming community, but other communities as well. We are honored to be part of such a great network of podcasters, so please stop by and give everyone a listen. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Yo, crew members, what it be?
Heyo! Oh, I got a burp. This burp's making me out to be a liar right now. I felt it. You ever get a burp stuck?
Mm-hmm.
I got a burp stuck, and I feel like it's going to come out while I'm talking. But anyway, all stuck burps aside, it's good to be here.
Yeah, man. All right, so we are going to talk about the PlayStation Showcase, but before we do that, we are recording this on Saturday, and Saturday is 9/11.
Yep.
And needless to say, 20 years ago, you know what I mean, life in this country was changed forever.
Yeah.
I was a sophomore in high school.
I was about to say, before you even go into that, it's one of those, and it's obviously for a very horrific reason, but, you know, for people like us who joke all the time, it's not even really a joke that, like, you can't even remember what you ate 4 days ago, but, like, everyone remembers exactly where they were
When they first
on
saw
9/11 when they first heard about that. It's weird how that happens, but, like, that's how you know it was something big that changed
the world.
things forever.
Yeah. And that's the thing, dude. Second period history class.
Yeah,
I know exactly where I was.
I was in sixth period social. Is it called social studies? I don't even know what it's called anymore. History?
It might have been American history.
Might have been. Yeah, it might have been. American history. And then I remember my mom picked me up from school that day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they closed school. Did they?
They did close early.
They did close early. Okay, that's why she picked me up, and she explained in the best way that my little non-formed brain, fully formed brain could understand.
You what, 12?
As to what was happening. I think so, yeah. Sounds about right. But yeah, she explained what happened, and obviously being 12, it didn't quite land. If anything, I was probably just psyched to get out of school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
well, that's the thing, like, in the high school, all the TVs were on, and they all were on the same thing. Yeah. So, like, we watched the second tower get hit. We watched the towers fall.
I watched the second tower get hit from my boss's TV in his office because when my mom picked me up, we went back to the office.
Yeah.
And we got there before the second tower got hit. And like I said, I back then didn't understand what was going on, didn't know what the World Trade Center was, didn't know what those towers were, what happened in there.
Yeah.
And it still took a bit to even realize what was happening when it was happening. Like, no one really knew that it was a terrorist attack right away. A lot of people didn't even really connect those dots when the second tower went. It was just like, were there two really fucked up pilots that day?
Yeah, it was just it.
But then when you start hearing about Flight 93 and
Pentagon
and the Pentagon, then you started to realize this is big.
Yeah,
like this is big.
So what we want to do is we just want to do a brief moment of silence for the 2,996 people that died that day, and also the 25,000 that were injured. You know what I mean, on that day. So let's go ahead and just do that real quick. All right. Sorry to start this off on a somber note, but for something that we witnessed, you know what I mean? I feel like it makes a lot of sense to go ahead and make sure that people don't forget.
This has never been, since we started, this has never been a podcast that's shied away from us giving our thoughts on things that we find important, no matter what it is, whether it's something that affects us or doesn't affect us. So This obviously wasn't something that we were gonna, just gloss over. It's a, the craziest time I think in American history that we went through.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's, you still see the effects of it to this day.
You do.
So and it's it was weird. You remember, like, I remember, like I said, I remember that day when it happened, and I also remember that. And again, I wish it were for a different reason, but like that level of like unity afterwards was something that like I'd never seen before, and I don't think we've ever had since.
No.
Now, there are plenty of reasons to have that now, to look for unity, and I hope we find it under better circumstances.
Agreed.
Because it shouldn't take shit like that, for everyone to realize, like, hey, we're in this shit together.
Yeah.
And at any point in time, there's people out there that wish harm on us. So, but, yeah, man. Shout out to, all the families still, It's rough for us, but you got to remember there's a lot of people out there that this day is still, they've lost someone this day.
I know.
So.
And I mean, there are people from around this area, that never came home.
Mm-hmm.
There were certain spots in Jersey, at the train stations that the cars never left.
Yeah. But yeah, to all the people that lost people that day, to all the
first responders,
all the true heroes.
And everybody who went in to try to help anybody in the towers and in the Pentagon. Number one, thank you.
And those unlikely heroes
like Flight 93.
Like Flight 93 that said, not on our watch.
Yeah. Nah, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
Yeah, let's get to the show. Before we even break down, like, we're going to break down this entire showcase.
And what a showcase it was.
Yeah, it was great. There was, I'm interested to hear, because I did tell the guys, and obviously if you haven't noticed, it is just Wes and I today. Anthony wasn't supposed to be here anyway because he had drill, but he's a little injured at the moment. So he's not at drill.
Yeah, we have him on the DL.
He's not on long-term injury reserve, but we'll see how it goes. We'll just get him a life alert necklace. He'll be all right. So yeah, I told them when I watched it that there were a couple things that were a little meh for me, but the bulk of it blew me away, because what I loved about this showcase, and I said we'll get to everything, is that there were things that I saw that I had a feeling that I would see and get more from, and that was great. But then they also hit me with some shit that I had no clue was coming, and I love it when I get hit with shit that I didn't know was coming, and also gets me really excited. There's some things that you didn't think were coming, and they're like, I don't really care about it anyway.
No, like, I mean, some of it I was watching going, oh, that's neat. And then, and then other parts I'm like, what? Whoa, wait. Really? Like, like, oh, shit.
Yeah. There were a couple moments where, and Alex was sitting next to me when I watched it. There were a couple moments that I just went, oh! And she's like, are you all right? Yep. I think so. But anyway, so we will start off with something that excited me. Like, when you come out the gate with this, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And it is none other than a game by Lucasfilms, and that is none other than the KOTOR remake, Knights of the Old Republic, which I've talked about on this show before, is one of my absolute favorite RPGs ever, because two of my favorite things in the world are RPGs and the entire Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
So the idea of having a game like KOTOR where you have the ability to play through an RPG and end up on either side, the dark side or the light side, whatever you want, tits. And now that it's going to be remade for next-gen consoles.
Yeah, so the initial release date on this game was November 19, 2003.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I played it on. Couldn't tell you. Game Boy? I don't know.
But
no,
then,
it wasn't Game Boy,
so the quick talk about the game is, it is 4,000 years before the Galactic Empire, and hundreds of Jedi have fallen in battle against the ruthless Sith. You are the last hope of the Jedi Order. You can master awesome power of the Force on your quest to save the Republic, or will you fall to the lure of the dark side? Dark side.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
I wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, it's a fantastic game, and it's been so long, like you said, 2003. It's been so long since I've played it that I've forgotten virtually everything. So it's going to be so worth me playing it again.
Yeah, so I never got to play it, so I am extremely
Well, you
pumped.
love RPGs too. You play RPGs all the time. So
yeah, I am extremely pumped about actually jumping into this. I mean, especially how pretty it's going to look.
It's right up your alley. And like I said, the cool thing is that it obviously has replay value, because the way I see it, a game like that, you can play 3 different times, because generally if I have a game like that where you can go either way, the way I always approach it is that my very first playthrough, I do everything exactly how I think I would actually do it in the moment. Like if I think me as Andrew Skubiak, what I would do, what I would answer, what I would do given that situation is how I do it, and the game rocks out how it rocks out. And then after that, I purposely do one where I end up like the Jedi Knight, you know what I mean? The fucking Prince of Peace, and then I do another one where I am
the spawn of Satan.
The spawn of Satan, Dark Lord of the Sith, fucking kill everybody like that.
Palpatine has nothing on you.
Correct. Palpatine who? I'm gonna make that shirt. Palpatine who? Yeah. So the game's gonna have a lot of replay value, and if you've never played it, please do.
And also, one of the really great things is that Jennifer Hale is actually coming back as I believe it's Darth Revan.
Revan?
Yeah, Revan. Yeah. So she's actually coming back to go ahead and do the voice work for you mean for that particular Sith Lord.
Yeah. Was there a release date on that yet?
We didn't have anything about a release date.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Moving right along. What we got next, brother?
Moving right along, we have a game called Project Eve. Now, this one, it looked very much like a newer, like Final Fantasy VII remake, like Nier Automata style.
Yeah, it had that
gorgeous.
Like, it had that typical art style with like the humongous weapons, giant swords, and guns, and all that shit, and like the robotics look of like a Nier Automata type thing.
Yeah. So when it comes down to Project Eve, it is a game from the studio Shift Up, and it looks to be a hack and slash adventure game in near post-apocalyptic future. You are the sword-wielding female protagonist taking on huge monsters with slow-mo action and cinematic quick-time events. Ooh, some QTEs. Nice. We do not have a release date on this.
There has not been, to my knowledge lately, games that have really utilized QTE very well. That's what I loved about Shenmue so much, is that so much of the game was based around those, and so much of where the story went was based around those. You fuck up a QTE, it may take you another couple hours to find who you were looking for before because they got away.
Yeah.
So there were like real
I remember certain spots with some of the Spider-Man, you mean like the PS4 Spider-Man game, that you had to hit certain QTEs in order to be able to have things happen the right way.
Yeah, when I say like real
and also with this game, with Project Eve, we did get gameplay on this trailer.
Yeah, and it looked...
And the gameplay looks basically seamless from the cinematic.
Yeah, it looked fluid. There's some wicked looking monsters in this thing. We have the trailer playing.
Yeah, we have everything pulled up right now
while we're talking, and it's got like it's weird. It's got like an Alien vibe, and it's like Alien meets Monster Hunter meets Horizon meets Final Fantasy.
Actually, Monster Hunter meets Horizon is actually a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
I actually really, really like that. But yeah, like I said, we do not have a release date on this as of right now.
But yeah, dude, back to the whole QTE thing. Like, the one thing that I didn't like about... Like, when I think QTEs are done properly, it's something... And Shenmue's not the only one to do it. I know there's other games that have done it too, but when there are actually consequences other than just, like, game over or try again, because it's just like Miles Morales. There were QTEs in there, like, when you're in that first mission with... I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it yet, but if you fuck those up, I'm pretty sure you just do it over again. Meanwhile, in some games...
you get hit and you lose some of your health, but yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, meanwhile, in like, like I said, like...
You have other opportunities.
For instance, like, you're chasing someone in Shenmue down these alleys, and if you lose them, you got to go around looking for clues and find them again. It's not just like, oh, you fucked up this thing, game over, you got to start over.
You deal with that in Miles and Spider-Man with the car chases. Because you have the QTEs for like, web slinging guys out of the car.
Yeah. Yep. Touche, sir. Oh, all right. I guess I got the next one. Ah, man, I should have done Project Eve because I feel like it's only right to let you do the next one. I'm going to let Wes do the next one. I'll take the next two after that.
All right, so now we are heading to a new land. A land of what looks like orcs and dragons and skeletons and butt stallion. And of course, I am talking about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. We actually got gameplay for this.
Why are there guns?
Because it is Borderlands.
I was kidding, by the way.
It's the only answer that I have.
It's what they said. You didn't hear what she said in the trailer?
Oh yeah. No, I did catch that. But yeah, so you have the choice of either going like, you know what I mean, magic, full arcane, full guns. You have crossbows. You have Mr. Torg as some type of fucking troll or some shit. Like that shit he looked phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, dude, it's basically Borderlands that's just a fucking D&D adventure. I mean, it takes you right into like bunkers and badasses, which is what the DLC was for Borderlands 2.
Yeah, I mean it looks great. It looks like everything you anticipate from a Gearbox game.
Yes.
And surrounded by Tiny Tina, or surrounded around Tiny Tina's crazy warped fucking brain.
Yes, and I am hoping that we get much more of Tiny Tina, in this game. Obviously
it's called Tiny Tina's Wonderland, so
I know, but it looks like she's the dungeon master in the in this game. So hopefully we get everything that we really want out of this.
Yeah.
You have Will Arnett, he's in this. Wanda Sykes is in this. Obviously Ashley Birch is in this. This game, it looks like it's going to be fun, but the only thing that scares me is that it looks like a fucking just copy and paste of fucking Borderlands, and that is the only thing that I'm like, I'm already playing that.
Yeah, but you were already playing Borderlands 1 when Borderlands 2 came out, and you're already playing Borderlands 2 when Borderlands 3 came out.
Yeah, but see, there is a difference between 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3.
I think there's a bigger difference between 2 and 3 than 1 and 2.
Stylistically, there's a huge difference between 1 and 2.
Like art style, I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I just mean as far as like the way the actual game plays. Like you added in like sliding and mantling and the whatchamacallit, the new loot system with
loot instancing.
Yeah, loot instant. So like they did make a giant leap from 2 to 3. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand the reservations. It's like high risk, high reward with this type of thing.
It is. And I mean, I'm not going to not buy it. You know what I mean? It's got
Borderlands name on it.
It will be here in my house. You know what I mean? It's going to be coming out March 22nd, I believe, is what the date was.
And it'll be here March 22nd, I'm sure.
Yes. You have different tiers that you can buy. The standard tier for the next gen is a $70, you know what I mean, game.
Your standard price tag.
Look, man, it is what it is now. You know what I mean?
Where we are.
I can be mad at it, or I can just buy the game. I'll do both.
I can do one or the other, but I'm gonna do both.
I'm gonna do both because that's me.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's me. But so March 22nd.
All right, so moving right along, a game that I was most excited as far as the things that I thought I would see on this showcase.
I didn't know I was gonna see anything more on this.
I didn't know that I was going to see as much as I saw. I thought, if anything, I would just get another teaser trailer.
Yes.
But, so we saw the initial teaser trailer for a game that actually, I don't even believe had a name yet when we first saw it.
It did.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the name was on it.
I thought it was like Project something, and they didn't have the name yet. But maybe I'm tripping. It's very possible I'm tripping. But anyway, the game that we're talking about is Forspoken. And Forspoken... coming out in spring 2022 in a world not her own, where resolve will be tested, truths will be questioned, and devotions will be doubted, she will rise. Now, what this looks like, and I forget her name, Wes, if you can look it up. I believe the chick that was mocapped for this game and the look, and she's the voice actor too, I'm guessing. I believe is the one actor, from the new the new Charlie's Angels movie, the one with Kristen Stewart and
I remember you talking about that. Okay, so her name is,
I'm looking and I can't even see.
Jania.
No, I think I'm wrong. I think I'm way wrong.
But it is performed and voiced. You know what I mean? So she did the mocap as well as doing all the vocals stuff. Janina.
Oh yeah, I'm way wrong.
Yeah, Janina.
Yeah, no, it's
Gavin Carr.
Yeah. Damn, she's a pianist. She's a trained pianist, vocalist, and orchestral percussionist. Holy fuck.
Damn.
That's pretty badass.
Definitely
but anyway,
is.
So what this game looks like, first of all, it looks beautiful. And the way the trailer starts off, she's like
getting shit kicked out of her.
She's basically getting jumped in like an alley in like what looks like our world, like our current world. And then she ends up basically going through this freaking portal to the future, right? Like a way future or the past?
See, that's the part we don't know.
Either way.
Because the whole thing about it is that she says something about whether this is Earth, and then she hears a voice say, kind of not really. Yeah. And then you find
it's like
out
her own personal Jarvis.
Yes, but you find out that the voice is actually the cuff that is on her right wrist.
Yeah. She's basically being spoken to, much like, it's like her own personal Navi from The Legend of Zelda.
Yes.
So, she ends up in this. Yeah, we don't know if it's Earth. It basically, honestly, it looks like she's running out of a location you'd see in Anthem, basically.
Yeah.
And she clearly has magical powers, and she's got some slick traversal skills because she's like hopping around all these rooftops fast as shit, going against dragons, and I don't even know what you want to call some of these other things. But she clearly has some like elemental powers.
Yeah, the shit looks nuts. From what I'm able to gather with this game, it looks like it's a single person, game. It doesn't look like there's any real multiplayer aspect to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The platforming looks fantastic.
Yes.
And the graphics are phenomenal as far as like the actual, the actual game, not just cutscenes. But we are waiting to get more on this game, which I'm sure they will, because we're going to be in 2022 pretty quick.
Yes.
So all these games that are coming out in 2022, you got to think that you're going to be getting a lot more on them very, very soon.
And that one, now we said spring 2022, right?
Yeah. That's right around the corner, man.
That is March, April, May. Yeah, let's fucking go.
That's right around the corner. And now moving right along into something that I was kind of excited for, and then it kind of dudded out on me a little bit. And that is Rainbow Six Extraction.
Now, I will say, I was first excited for this with some of the E3 things that we saw because, they did their own thing at E3 because, it was part of the Ubisoft showcase. And, you see the different types of creatures that are there, the different types of, like, alien or I don't even know what the hell these things actually are. But, the whole point of the game is to infiltrate these hives that these things are in and then getting your people out.
Yeah.
You're extracting
your fellow soldiers.
Yes. And then you got to deal with these baddies along the way. So it's basically just raids. You're just running raids after raids after raids. It is a meh for us.
When you have other games under, if I was going to get something, now I know I wouldn't get it at a PlayStation showcase, but if I'm going to get something Tom Clancy related, this isn't what I was hoping I was going to get. I was hoping I was going to get, because Tom Clancy's who does all the Ghost Recon games too, right? So I was hoping, because when you get games like Wildlands and the other one, like, they're so good.
Yeah.
I would have expected something like that. I wouldn't have expected a Splinter Cell 4, because I'm pretty sure Splinter Cell, was that strictly Xbox or no?
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy.
I don't remember. Table that. But when I see Tom Clancy at this point, I want another badass Ghost Recon, a brand new IP, or finally bring back a Splinter Cell, but... new
IP would have been nice.
The Rainbow Six thing is, I don't know, getting kind of played out for me.
We tried our best.
Yeah, getting a little.
Yeah, that one's going to be coming out January of next year. So the next one is actually a remaster of a game that I believe started off on Microsoft only, right?
I'm not sure if it was Microsoft only. I can check.
Okay. And then from that point, it went to... Yeah, on PlayStation for the first time.
Yep. Yeah, I see here. Yep.
Microsoft. Yeah, so we're talking about Alan Wake Remastered. Now, the Alan Wake game, you are playing as Alan Wake. You are a novelist, I believe, into which you are going through essentially somebody or something happened to where it's basically like a real life, like one of your novels.
Yes. I can go a little more in depth.
Please.
If you want. Yeah. So Alan Wake, he's a best-selling crime fiction author suffering from a 2-year stretch of writer's block. He and his wife Alice travel to the small mountain town of Bright Falls, Washington for a short vacation on the advice of Alice and Alan's friend and agent Barry Wheeler. Before their arrival, Alan has a nightmare about shadowy figures who try to kill him before a figure interrupts the dream and teaches him how to utilize the light to fend off the shadows. Now, I believe this is what... Was it Adrian? Someone was telling us about this, that... when I was playing Blair Witch that it had a very Alan Wake vibe because of the flashlight. And how it was
I
used.
think it was probably Adrian. So we are getting Alan Wake October 5th of this year. So that's very close to. I mean, that's less than a month from now.
Yeah.
To which that's like. I mean, for anybody who's played Control, you know what I mean. These are the same people who made Control, and actually there is a connection with these games into which you will learn about when you play them, and I mean, especially when you play the Control DLC. The only reason I know that is because of my boy Alex. So.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this is, the complete experience includes the original groundbreaking horror story and its 2 expansions, The Signal and The Writer.
Oh, nice! You get both expansions too.
Yes.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So so far, up until this point, we've got two remakes or 2 remasters, and they're good ones: Alan Wake and Knights of the Old Republic. So if you're gonna do remakes, this is how you do it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You choose games that are, we're way out from. That were great and people would want to play again.
Or something that was an exclusive that can now come over to the other system.
Yep.
And now we're
something brief here that's probably not super unexpected.
Let's
but
keep it brief.
Yeah, GTA 5 coming to PS5.
Yeah, so you're going to get seamless transition between characters. You're going to get all the explosive action that you expect from it.
And look, the game's great. I mean, it's not. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
We're not knocking the game. We're just...
you see it all the time now. It's like...
It's fallen into the Skyrim realm.
It's fallen into the Skyrim realm, and it's like you expect to see something about GTA Online just like every time you see something, you expect to see a new Fortnite skin. It's fallen into that category.
Yes.
Where like every time you see one of these showcases, like, okay, where are they going to fit GTA 5 in?
Yeah, and then I mean, like, and also when it comes down to like GTAO, you know what I mean, the online aspect. I mean, that's going to be a part of the PS5 as well.
Yeah. So if you've never played it, I would, and you have a 5, I would suggest getting it because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and go ahead and run with it.
If you've already played it, probably don't need to get it again. It's a money grab.
That's my thought.
All right, let's move right into a game that we've seen a couple times now, but haven't seen too much on it, and that is Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah,
game when we saw the first couple times. It's still weird. It's not quite in Dakavi territory, but we're still trying to figure out what's happening.
I didn't even think about that.
I actually had Alex watch that trailer yesterday.
Think?
She was actually able to break it. She was actually able to break it down, like as it was happening, like what she thought was happening, and then she looked it up on Google and read it to me, and it was basically almost exactly like what she was saying. Oh. They're actually pegging it as a Pokemon-ish game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we said that when we were going.
Well, we said it was that meets like 50 million other things.
Well, I mean, that's what I had in front of me. You mean when we were talking about it?
But anyway, so yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo. We saw, I believe, last year, right? Is when we saw the.
I think last year was the first time we saw something
at their state of play.
Yeah. And it is an upcoming action-adventure game developed by Tango Gameworks and is published by Bethesda. Mm-hmm. It's going to be coming to the PS5. So this is another one of those games like Deathloop that's probably going to end up having a timed release because obviously Bethesda is now Microsoft. Mm-hmm. The game is set to release worldwide in 2022. And yeah, for Windows and timed console exclusive for PS5.
Yeah. So do you have anything on the plot or do you want me to?
No, go ahead and run with it.
The plot to this game, and nearly all of Tokyo's citizens have vanished mysteriously, and otherworldly spirits known as visitors have invaded the city. So your
There's
players...
some Slender Man looking motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, I thought it was a Slender Man game when I first saw it.
Yeah, so did I.
So the player
characters.
How you
went, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't you know? The player character's supernatural powers begin to manifest, and as the player combats the spirits haunting the city, he encounters a group wearing Hanya masks who may unveil the mystery behind the strange events in Tokyo. Like Wes said, it's an action adventure game played in the first person perspective, where you use various psychic and paranormal abilities to defeat the ghosts and spirits haunting Tokyo. The combat director Shinichiro Hara described the combat as karate meets magic.
I mean, you definitely saw that.
Yeah, for sure. As the player character utilizes hand movements and hand gestures to cast spells. When an enemy loses most of their health, its core is exposed, and the player can use takedown moves to destroy it, defeating the spirit. So, we need to see a little more.
I mean, there was some weird shit with this, to where like, you just saw this like smoke just come past, and it would just disintegrate.
Yeah,
people.
there's Slender Man right there.
Yeah. We're seeing a few of them. There's people with like no heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're seeing some of that magic you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, this shit definitely looks
Lady
wild,
Dimitrescu,
man.
that was just then.
Yeah, it looked like it. Definitely looked like it. Did we say anything about a release date on this?
I don't believe we did. Hold on, I can tell you in a second.
Spring 2022.
I don't have to tell you.
Nope, I got it right here.
Perfect. Well, moving right along. After one of those weird, freaking PlayStation transitions, I wish they'd stop doing. Like, just give me all of your trailers in a row. Like, you don't need to keep showing me the damn square, circle, triangle.
Yeah, I know.
X button. But something I'm very excited about. I'm assuming you're excited about it too. You're probably a little bit more reserved than me because of how
building up,
how steeped you are in this world.
It's building up to me. I'll put it that way. I really like the way the characters look because they look very comic canon, which is good. It's just one of those things that I'm mad you can't play as everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And
we are, of course, talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Now, this is a game that's going to probably be a lot easier. Not easy as it would have been before I watched all the movies, but a little easier to impress me than, say, you or Clyburn or people that have been steeped in this comic lore forever, because there's a lot more that they're going to have to land with you guys.
Yeah.
There's going to be things that you guys are going to be able to look at immediately and go, that's not right. Don't quite like that.
Now, the cool thing is that, for me personally, Guardians, I know basically nothing.
Oh, sweet.
So
less to be disappointed about. Look, sometimes that's great.
Nah, look, and I fully get what you're saying. But now, like, if you want to talk about, like, X-Men, that lore, I know. You mean that's one I'm good with. But, like when Guardians first came out in the theaters, I knew nothing about it. And I'm like, okay, and I'm going to watch it because it's Marvel. Let me go just see what happens. And then it being, like, some of the most hilarious shit ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, so you are Star-Lord. So nothing is off limits with your bold combat style, the element blasters, and your jet boots powered drop kicks to the tag team beatdowns. With the Guardians fighting at your side, call the shots and overwhelm your opponents with signature attacks. Meanwhile, the consequences of your decisions will range from lighthearted to downright unexpected as your journey unfolds.
Gotta love shit like that.
And we saw that happen. We saw that happen when we watched the first gameplay of this.
Yep.
When you throw Rocket, we had Drax throw Rocket Raccoon across this crevasse, and you saw it pop up in the corner. Rocket is angry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, so it is almost like an immediate reaction to that Mass Effect style or that Fable style system.
Yeah, and as soon as you see that, wondering, what the hell is this going to mean now if I need him to do something for me later?
Yes. Now, like I said, the way the Guardians look, it is very much, you know what I mean, you mean what you expect out of the comic canon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the way Drax looks with where the red is as opposed to the green, the way Gamora looks with her armor. You know what I mean? Like, they very much took away the sexualization.
Yeah, when I was watching
of the female characters, because even Mantis, looks different.
When I was watching this with Alex, she was like, "Did Gamora at any point in time in the comics look like how they had her in the movie?" I was like, "Well, I think the green, yeah, but I don't know much else."
Yeah. But yeah, man. So the
game looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it has to be. If there's any game that has to be fun, it has to be this one, because they're, as far as the fun factor goes, they're the most fun of the movies in the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
So it's gotta at minimum, it's gotta have a shitload of humor.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be fun and outlandish.
Now,
it can't take itself too seriously.
I hope this doesn't deal with the same issue that Avengers did, to where people got really mad that you didn't have certain people being, voicing characters. Like with the Avengers game, people got really upset that Mark Ruffalo wasn't the Hulk, that Chris Evans wasn't Captain America. Look, you're not...
Which you had to get over once they told you that this wasn't a part of the MCU.
Yes.
This was their own story with their own thing, and realistically, it's shitty to say, they probably had other better things to do at that point. Mark Ruffalo was probably busy, and even if they were going to get him, same thing with Downey and all them. But this, I'm sure this is going to go the same way. Funny enough, when you hear Rocket talk, doesn't sound that far off from Bradley Cooper.
No, it really doesn't.
So at least with him, they did a good job. Groot, you better not complain, because he's going to say 3 words anyway.
Yeah. Drax didn't sound too bad. I mean, Drax. Yeah. I mean, Drax sounded pretty good. Gamora, I remember sound. I mean, she doesn't sound exactly like Zoe Saldana, but I mean, she still has that grit of a female warrior. You know what I mean? And then I don't think you hear Mantis talk in this yet.
You don't. The most glaring difference for me was
Quill being blonde.
No. I mean, as far as his voice. Like, just didn't. Before I heard him talk for the first time.
Yeah.
Like just from having Chris Pratt. Like, I had an idea in my head of what he was going to sound like.
Of course.
And then once he did, and I was like, that's different than I thought it would be, but not anything I can't get behind.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, I am always going to have James Avery in my head for being the Shredder with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I watch. He's always going to be there.
Yep.
So, all right. So, wait a minute. Do we talk about let's find a release date on that real quick while we go ahead and talk about the next one. The next one we're going to talk about is Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. So this one, I mean, look, you get swords and guns.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
I forgot, we actually talked about this before. We are right around the corner from this game.
Are we?
Yeah, like right around the corner, as in next month right around the corner. So this is October 26th, 2021. So we are just a little over a month away. If everything goes according to plan.
Shit. You ain't lying.
October 26th.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess I'm going to find out a lot from a lot of people then. All right. So going back into Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, it looks like you have 3 different characters that you could actually be. You have Torador, who is a siren and a muse. It looks like she has quite impressive skills with a sword and gun, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I know I was spoiled. I'll let you continue saying. I know I was spoiled with like watching Blade and shit like that, but I'm like, you're already a vampire. Why do you need swords and guns? That's the first thing I thought when I saw this. I was like, you're a vampire. Use your
vampire powers,
vampiric abilities.
Vampiric, nice. Now, look, you're probably right, to be honest. And I mean, look at the way this guy looks. I mean, that guy has abilities.
Scariest vampire ever, right there. If we're talking about, to me, if we're talking about the old school vampire movies, Dracula, that motherfucker right there scared the shit out of me with his long 2 fucking front teeth.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
So the next one you could be, and once again, I'm just guessing that these are the actual characters you could be as opposed to the ones you face, is Nosferatu, who is a prowler and a saboteur. So, I mean, that guy, all sorts of different shit you can fucking do. Looks like he's some type of sniper.
Like, how are you a vampire and a sniper? It just doesn't seem fair.
And then you get to just... See, I like that slide kill, though.
Is this the Don Kashane game?
Yes.
Okay, thought so.
And then you have Bruja, who is a vandal and a brute.
Kind of looks like a vampire version of M'Baku.
I was actually thinking it looks like a vampire version of... I can't remember his name now. He is a Star Wars. Fuck.
He is a Star Wars.
No. Star Wars. Dude, he was...
Lando?
No, not Lando.
The newer guy.
Yes.
The newer guy. Hold on.
Yes, he was also in the new... He was in the last Pacific Rim game. Or movie. Shit.
Hold on.
John Boyega.
John Boyega.
Yes. Yeah. And that's who that guy looked like. I mean, honestly,
fair.
Dude, to me, it looked like John Boyega.
That's fair.
Like, it really did. Like, look at that.
That's fair.
Yeah. God, that took forever to figure out. I'm sorry.
John Boy.
John Boy. All right, yeah. So, we're going to be getting this year.
I'm excited.
I mean,
I like anything vampire.
I mean, we have no information besides just this year. So, I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, that game did look like fun. It looked like it's going to be pretty neat.
All right. Moving right along to, I guess, hot take number 1 for me of the day.
Please.
Which is a game that, to some people's dismay, I am just not really that high on, and that is Deathloop. Like, I take it as far as it's interesting. It's interesting, and I'm interested to see how it plays and how it's received. I don't believe I will buy this. Definitely won't buy it right away. So this is not one of those games where it's like, ooh, gotta have it.
So here's one of the things about this game. Number 1, it is a Bethesda game.
Which normally when a Bethesda game comes out, I want it immediately.
So what that means to me is that this will at some point, you know what I mean, timed release, because we already know this one is a timed release. for exclusive for PS5. It will probably end up on Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
Which means that
I definitely thought you were taking that somewhere else.
No, which means that we will most likely be able to play whenever. You know what I mean? Some point next year.
I thought you were about to say, it's Bethesda, so in following their latest stuff, it probably will disappoint people at some point.
But then get better when they rework it,
which would be beautiful. But look, I'm not that high on it. I don't necessarily want it right away. But as with everything that I feel this way about, I want to be brutally wrong. Like, I want to find out that this game is just the tits, and you got to have it, and it's just hours upon hours of fun.
Yeah. So one of the things you actually learn in this is that your character was actually like the head of security.
Yeah.
On this island.
Yep.
So you are trying to but you have no memory of it at all. All you remember is waking up on the beach and then trying to go ahead and kill all these people that are here.
Yeah.
Because this is just a bunch of rich people's just way to stay young forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's essentially what they. The same day just replays every single time.
That is where my worry is, and that's where I hope that the fun aspect of the game overtakes what could happen, which is just the repetitiveness of doing the same shit over and over.
Especially if you're not really good at these kind of games, and then you just end up just keep on getting killed, and you gotta go back on that beach again. Yeah, this is one of those games to where you could easily just feel overwhelmed with not being able to do what you need to do.
So like not progressing and just seeing the same locations, the same people, the same this and that all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, this game doesn't necessarily blow me away. And it's weird because it had like a slow burn to get there, because when I first saw it, I was actually really excited. Now, I don't know if that's because the second I hear Bethesda, I automatically get excited, because more often than not, they deliver exactly what I want.
I found it interesting. I found it interesting because
this style of game come from Bethesda?
The style of game come from Bethesda. The animation, you know what I mean? How it looks, and then just the process of the game itself, I thought was extremely impressive. But then the more I've just seen once again, dude, it's been delayed like everything else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And we just keep on seeing more and more of the same stuff. And it's just like, all right, sometimes less is more. You know what I mean? With video games, a lot of times less is more.
Yeah.
We've already seen gameplay of this. You know what I mean? We don't need to go ahead and have another 4 or 5 events that we see gameplay every time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, this game's going to be coming out. Actually, by the time you listen to this, it's probably going to be a day or so before it comes out, September 14th.
Correct. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Now let's go to another game that we don't really know about what's going on.
We don't know, nor do we know how to pronounce. So we're going to call it 4 different things. It's either Shia, Shia, Tachia, Tachaya. It's one of those. The only
thing I know about this game is that she can put her soul into animals.
Yeah, it looks,
or people, actually, I believe.
It's weird. Like every time when I see this game, I feel like it's a game that is geared for kids, but adults are going to want to play.
Now, I can understand that, but to me, it essentially looks like a grown-up version of an Animal Crossing game, into which I said
that to Alex. I said this has like an Animal Crossing vibe. I got like Animal Crossing meets Moana meets Breath of the Wild.
All right, so apparently this game is inspired by New Caledonia, which I'm not sure what that is. Andy's gonna look that up real quick. But yeah, so the whole thing about it is that you are this character. You are Tachia, Tachaya, Chia, however you say it. And I mean, like her one eye glows green, and apparently when that happens, you can morph into, your soul can go into different animals. Like, I mean, you see her in a crab, you see her in like in a sea turtle.
So at first glance, this game seems like a perfectly modest game about a girl exploring an island, petting crabs, and talking to old fishermen.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's better than petting old fishermen and talking to crabs. But then she sneaks up on a seagull and possesses it like she's the ghost from Geist. Somehow doesn't make it look any less wholesome, as you can see the game's trailer above. Now, yeah, like you said, inspired by life on the island of New Caledonia, which is where the developers' co-founders grew up.
Oh, okay. So the island
And yeah,
and I guess some of the inhabitants.
I have more about it here. The team is hoping to make something that even folks completely unfamiliar with the culture will enjoy. So that's us.
Okay.
New Caledonia is a part of the southwest Pacific Ocean near Australia. It's been a territory of France since the 1850s, originally inhabited by the Lapita people, who some archaeologists believe are ancestors of Polynesian and Melanesian people. It was discovered by the Europeans in 1974. By British navigator James Cook, who named the region New Caledonia because it reminded him of his native Scotland. And fast forward to modern times, it is a predominantly Kanak, a subgroup of Melanesian, but sports cultural influences ranging from Japan, Taiwan, Indonesia, Vietnam, and other countries.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Cool.
And hey, if your goal is to market this, not because I'm assuming there'd be a small market if you were just marketing it to people
just
from
that,
there.
Yeah.
But lofty goal, and I hope it lands because I like, when shit like this.
Hey, man, island life, man. Let's see it.
Yeah.
I'm game for it.
It seems relaxing.
It does.
I just want to pet some crabs.
Talk to some fishermen.
I want to eat some crabs. So this next one, another one kind of along the same lines of GTA, but actually makes me a little more excited because I haven't played either of these yet.
Okay.
So you are getting the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection for PS5. So you are getting
NPC,
NPC. Sorry. So you are getting a Thief's End and what is it? Lost Legacy.
Yeah, I believe so.
You're getting a Thief's End and Lost Legacy, both remastered for the PS5. So, yeah, y'all already know probably ad nauseum how much I've spoken, how much I love these games. Haven't played these ones yet. I don't own Lost Legacy. I own Uncharted 4 for PS4, but at this point, I'll probably hold off
and just get
on playing that and get the one for PS5 and rock
it's not a bad idea
because I've done everything I can do in the first three. Like I've platinum trophied all three of them.
Yeah.
So nothing left for me to do there. So yeah, nothing big here, but now we are moving into the realm of the exclusives. Now there's not as many as all the shit that we just went through, but
what we have
not a bad one on there. Not a bad one on there.
Not at all.
I'm gonna let Wes take this first one. It's short but fucking sweet.
Yeah, so number one, this game is being made by Insomniac, who makes the Spider-Man and Miles Morales games. It is a Marvel game. You're gonna be coming back to Marvel for another one.
And the fact that it's made by them makes me feel like I don't have to worry about it not being a great game.
I'm thinking the exact same thing. So you end up seeing a guy sitting at a bar. Everybody in the bar is completely just beat to hell. You have bar tables and everything else just thrown all about.
And some poor soul.
Some dude stands up after getting his ass kicked, grabs a knife, and then you just see the guy at the bar make a fist, and then yes, you schnick.
Yeah,
is the actual.
Yeah,
I mean it's actually like what it's written. Yeah, in the comic. And then you go from there, and it goes black, and it just says Marvel Wolverine.
This one's got a place right in your heart, huh?
Woo!
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Now, a buddy of mine went ahead and told me about in the trailer. So you see this right here. There is a HLK 181 license plate, Hulk 181. This is actually has something to do with Madripoor, which is a fictional, it's a Marvel city that is basically where the dark, seedy parts of like crime lords and everything else, take place.
Okay.
So, this
looks like a seedy bar.
This game could be, give me the princess's bar. I'm pretty sure this game is actually taking place in Madripoor, which would be fucking insane. Oh my god. Like, I am definitely at a loss for words. Now, we don't know who is voicing Logan in the game.
You just wait until they're like, bombshell, Hugh Jackman.
I would rather have Steve Bloom, to be honest.
From the show?
Yes. Yeah, from from a handful of X-Men stuff that's that's happened in the past. I don't believe he was the original from the 90s cartoon, the animated series.
It's just going to have to match how he looks and how they're trying to depict him exactly.
Yeah, so the voice of the Toonami little robot? From Cartoon Network, Toonami?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Steve Bloom.
Okay.
Yeah, so that voice on this guy, fuck yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have no information at all for this besides the fact that it is just called Marvel Wolverine.
Yeah, that was just them like
They were flexing.
They just put their nuts on the table and said, just suck on these for now. This is enough. And
it was.
And it was. It was.
Look,
I was satiated.
Look, I felt the same way for that as I did in one of the last showcases when we got the first look of God of War Ragnarok. You know what I mean? Yeah, to where I was like, ooh.
Man, I wonder when we're going to be talking about that again.
Look, man, only time will tell.
Oh, time will tell. But moving right along to what I always say is, Sony's answer to Forza, which is Gran Turismo 7.
One of the greatest things about this, just about these games, is just...
God, they're fucking gorgeous.
Yes. Like, hyper realistic.
Like, literally, and I know there's a ton out there, unless you like, which I do, the gritty, like, gnarly, dark street racing scene that you get in those Need for Speed games, which I love, which is why I get them. If that's not your thing and you just want realism, real cars, real racing, you, depending on what systems you have no business getting anything other than Gran Turismo or Forza, depending on which system you got. And if you got both and you like cars, you probably buy both.
Buy both, yeah. So, I mean, look, if you want something that is the most hyper-realistic game, dude, just looking at anything, period. I mean, this is exactly what it is. It's exactly what you're talking about a few weeks ago with watching the Forza Horizon 5, I believe it is.
What, where if someone showed it to you and didn't tell you it was a game, you wouldn't know it?
Well, that, and also, I mean, the rendering of everything, when it's going
so
past
fast.
the camera, how quick everything is responding.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it is just absolutely incredible.
So I said, like, can you get these people to work on an RPG? So I'm not waiting 45 seconds for a tree in the distance to pop up.
Now, it is neat because, dude, there's a bunch of stuff that's, like, really customizable. Like, you can put the different,
I was just assaulted.
No, you assaulted the mic. That's what happened.
Shit.
But you can go ahead and like put different decals on the cars. Stuff like that. You have all different places throughout this whole world to be able to go ahead and race.
That car is sexy as fuck, by the way.
Yes, it is. 100% customizable of everything. You know what I mean? Like, you can go ahead and change how opaque anything is.
Yeah.
So,
like, I'm pretty sure you can change the color of like your door handle.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's actually what was happening in this part of the whole thing.
Like, so unnecessary, but so beautiful. And that looked like a spaceship, whatever that car. Whatever car that was a spaceship.
Yeah, it definitely was.
That goes to the moon.
You're right there.
That thing. Like, what in the hell?
Fucking TIE fighter.
Like, yeah, basically. Like, someone's popping out of there to fight Batman. That's all I know.
Fight Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gran Turismo 7, the real driving simulator. God damn, that game's going to be so good when it comes out.
Yeah. So now
we're heading back to Marvel again.
We are heading back to Marvel again, and boy, did this excite me in the way that Wolverine excited you. Wolverine excited me too, but I never got into X-Men much.
Yes.
I think I've only seen one movie. Don't know a lot about it. But this next trailer, you just see this dark alley, and then you just see basically like this electricity shoot up this light pole, and then some dude bounce off it, and then you start to see the suits. You start to see Miles Morales'
You start
suit.
finding out that this is actually a Spider-Man game.
Spider-Man 2.
Now, here's my thing. In the beginning of this trailer, when you hear the person talk, I am 88, 93% sure.
That is so specific.
I am within that range sure that it's Kraven the Hunter that's actually talking at first.
Okay.
And then you start hearing a voice shift.
And so fitting considering what we talked about a few weeks ago on this podcast when you were asking me what I would want out of a new game from, I don't even remember who it was. May have been just Sony Interactive. I don't know who it was.
I do remember us having this conversation.
Because I brought up Carnage.
Yes.
And shit like that. But what was the first thing that I said? The first game that I said?
Yeah, you want a Venom game.
I wanted a Venom game. Yeah. Now, while it's not quite that, because I mentioned a game where you play as Venom, because you're actually playing as, not... I would like to go against Spider-Man. That'd be cool. But anyway.
Well, yeah, actually being Eddie and Eddie Brock and actually going ahead and actually fighting.
We are
fighting.
So sick. But continue.
So, yeah. So, like I said, the tone changes and you start getting a duality in the voice.
Yeah.
And then that's when you realize, because what he said we.
Yeah.
And there's only one character in Spider-Man lore. You mean that everybody knows that talks like that?
That refers to himself as we.
Yes. Because it is a symbiotic relationship. Mm-hmm. And that is Venom.
Yeah.
Eddie Brock.
And you just see Venom pop out of the shadows of this alley and
Those
looks
fucking
terrifying.
Jesus Christ.
Looks terrifying. And then you find out that it is none other than Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
And so many questions to be answered there because
not to mention
you see Miles and you see Peter in there. So you wonder, can you play as either? Is it a single player where you play as both? Can you play it with a friend?
And then also, my biggest thing is this logo is not Venom's logo.
Correct.
This logo is Black Suit Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So there has to be a point that you are Black Suit Spider-Man before Eddie gets the suit.
And if this takes off, which I think it will, because Miles was great, the original Spider-Man game was great, Carnage is right around the corner.
Into which, you're going to get something that has to do with Carnage. Also having this come out at the same time that the Venom movie is going, the Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, is going to be coming out very, very soon as well.
How sick would it be, though, if you could throw down with a friend? One of you be Miles, one of you be Peter.
Oh my God, that'd be so nasty.
That would be so sick.
I would love that. Because, dude, number one, I'd be Miles all day because I think Miles is better. But
I just want to play. We both got webs and shit. I want to go instant kill mode.
Yeah. And that's another thing. You do
see that.
Yeah, you do see the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least a rendition of it. To where you have the legs. So, we have no actual release date on this except for 2023. You know what I mean? So, we're 2 years out on it.
Yeah.
But
so I would
assume year and a half, 2 years.
I would assume you'll see a lot more at State of Play next year.
Yes, I'm expecting the same. I'm expecting actual gameplay next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, to finish up this badass
and they
showcase,
picked a great one to finish.
They picked a great one. I didn't think we'd actually talk about this, but that is God of War Ragnarok.
You have everybody coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You mean for the characters? Christopher Judge is coming back as Kratos. I believe they brought the kid back. For being Atreus.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the God of War movie that was made for the PlayStation 4, you learn certain things about Atreus and about what his destiny is supposed to be. You learn about him and Loki. Because this game deals with the Norse gods.
Mm.
So from there, you are you're battling. As Kratos, obviously, and you're dealing with all different types of Norse gods. You're dealing with Thor. You see Thor. At the end, you see his hammer, Mjolnir. You have the same guys who work on your weapons and armor as before. The two brothers. You have the talking head. I forget what that guy's name is. But
Looks stunning.
Oh, dude,
absolutely stunning.
The game was the people who created the environment for this game.
You need a raise.
Absolutely.
You need a raise.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, it looks like you're going back through the tree of life for some of the stuff to go ahead and find out. You find different areas because you only hit a certain amount of areas in the last God of War game.
Yeah.
You didn't go all 9 realms. I'll put it that way.
Mm.
So let's go. Let's fucking go.
It looks great. And that's a perfect ending to this showcase.
Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to tell everybody what I think.
It just says 2022.
2022. All right, cool.
Which again, right around the corner.
Let's do it. I give this showcase an A. Solid 95%. I know nothing about Knights of the Republic. I love the remake. Project Eve looks beautiful. Tiny Tina, I've been waiting for him. Still a little up in the air. Forspoken, beautiful. Extraction, cool. Alan Wake, another one, cool. GTA 5, meh. You know what I mean? Ghostwire, yes. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm getting there. Blood Hunt, I love what they're doing with Blood Hunt. You mean giving you these different types of vampires. Deathloop, eventually, let's go ahead and go. I mean, Tchia is really cool because of what you told me about the story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I love I love learning about new areas. So so let's go. Uncharted, can never go wrong with an Uncharted game. And then just the jimmies, the sprinkles, and everything else, man.
I was gonna say in a good way the dog shit that they just fucking threw right at us.
Wolverine, fuck yes. GT7, let's go. Spider-Man 2, I'm telling you, Kraven's in this motherfucker. And then God of War Ragnarok.
We're gonna remember that. We're gonna remember this, people.
Because you heard. Because
if it happens, you heard it here first.
So yeah, dude, I give this a solid 95%. Man, that's an A from me. Like we were talking about it during the stream last night with Casanova, and this is what PlayStation needed. This is what Sony needed to go ahead and say,
we're still here.
We're still here. We're still giving you what you want.
Like, this is one of those where, like, Xbox, and this is, this isn't necessarily a negative on Sony as much as it is a positive on Microsoft, because they needed to come out and punch people in the mouth with exclusives and other things like they've done with Game Pass, and they did that. So Xbox has been doing great. But what this seems like for Sony is, like, everyone knows tech-wise, Sony still has the cool tech. But when it comes to games, which is what they've always been known for, the exclusive games and stuff like that, this is almost like one of those, oh, you must have forgot moments.
Yeah.
And they're like, let us come here to remind you that we still know what we're doing here. Now, granted, only 4 of those are exclusives. Every single one of those are bangers, though.
Okay, fine. Uncharted should also be on that side, though, because Uncharted is it.
Correct.
Well,
yep, correct.
Even though technically it's going to be coming out for PC, but still.
Yeah.
But no, look, I agree with you.
But they killed it. They absolutely killed it.
So what do you give it?
Dude, I feel like I'm locked right in on you there. I mean, we differ a bit on, like I said, KOTOR, I'm super excited about because I played it before. Project Eve, cool. Tiny Tina, I'm coming around on it like you. I mean, I trust Gearbox.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going with that. Forspoken, absolutely. Rainbow Six, nah. Alan Wake, I've always been excited to play because I've heard nothing but great things, so I'm excited there. GTA 5, meh. Ghostwire, coming around. Guardians, I'm excited. Vampire, I'm excited. Deathloop, I've already said about that. That was like the one dud for me here. Tchia, like we said, I'm excited with what they're trying to do there, so I'm good with that. The Uncharted games I love, and then I can't say not one bad thing about the exclusives. If you want to ding them anywhere, it's the fact that you only got, for the 2 of the most exciting games on there, you only got teaser trailers. But we're 2 years out from those games.
I was about to say.
So I'm saying you're really nitpicking if you're going there.
Yeah.
But to even know that those games are coming is enough to make me excited. And yeah, GT7. I haven't played a racing game in a super long time, but I'm considering it.
The closest thing I've done to a racing game is I played the Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
On the Series X, and
which is like
hyper realistic. Once again, dude, it is so fucking incredible.
And God of War. I mean, you can't go wrong there.
No.
So yeah, I'm locked right in on you there with I'm somewhere between a 90 and a 95. Either way, it's an A.
Yeah. So I want to retcon myself real quick. I said Jennifer Hale is going to be reprising her role. I thought she was the Darth Lord. You mean the one you saw in the trailer? No, she's going to be reprising her role as Bastila Shan.
Yeah, because
I just wanted to go ahead and just.
I went along with you, like I go along with Anthony sometimes, because isn't Revan the dude?
I don't know.
You never played the game.
I've never played, so I don't know.
I feel like Revan's the guy.
But I want to go ahead and just make sure that I retcon myself now, because I already know I'm going to get a text from people. You know what I mean? Listen to this going, yo, dummy.
Yeah. Revan's the guy.
Okay. But
and I just looked right at you dead in your face and was like, oh, yeah, sounds cool.
Cool,
yeah,
cool, man. Cool. You got it.
Yeah, they're taking this a totally different way. She's going to voice him now.
All right, so we gave you the showcase. Now let's give you news. Yeah, I only have a few things, and one of them is going to end up being another episode that we're going to do some point later on, because it sounds like this stuff's starting to wind down to a close, but I'll save that one for last. So PlayStation now buys its third studio this year.
Which studio is that?
So they have decided to buy the Playroom, which is basically a VR studio. I mean, they're behind games like The Persistence, which is a horror shooter game, which originally came out for the PS4 and the VR. I mean, as a VR title.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So, like, once again, I mean, this isn't the first thing that they've done when it comes down to acquiring. You know, I mean, Housemarque was one that they went ahead and picked up, and then they picked up Nixxes is another one, which is a Dutch studio. And Housemarque is a Finnish developer. I mean, dude, they keep on picking things up that are within the PC realm, as well as certain little spots like what Sony would do, like you mean like picking up this new one, you mean with the VR aspect. But yeah, man, you now have Fire Sprite is the company, sorry. But now they are the 14th studio that is now a part of the PlayStation Studios umbrella.
Dutch studio, man, that's what's up. There's only two things in this world I hate: people intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Dutch.
I'm guessing that's from a movie.
Yeah, it's from Austin Powers Goldmember.
Got it.
I had a feeling this was gonna pop
up. Yeah, yeah, and I mean, this is the one that we're going to go ahead and actually do it. Eventually, we're going to do an episode on. But Epic versus Apple. So the court has went ahead and said that Apple's 30% sales fee is unjustified, and that is a huge thing, because now this goes ahead and says, hey, what is the real number here? Mm-hmm. Because this will start hitting Apple's bottom line, because if they're only able to charge 15-20%, you know what I mean, on the sales tax of being able to use their stuff, you know what I mean? I mean, that's going to hit them pretty hard eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm leaving this a little bit until we actually
let it simmer a bit,
because when we do this episode, it's going to be nuts, because we're going to give y'all some, you know what I mean, lawyer speak in our talk. So it's going so you're going to
which means it's going to be really interesting to understand.
Which is normally for me, it's hard to talk anyway.
Yeah.
Last thing I have has to do with a little bit of politics, but only because it has to do with a gaming studio.
Fair enough.
So Tripwire CEO John Gibson steps down following comments that he has made on the Texas anti-abortion law, the heartbeat law, which is which is recently passed in the Texas legislature.
Yeah.
Which goes ahead and says that it is illegal for a woman to have an abortion under any circumstances whatsoever after 6 weeks, which is when they say that you can first, basically around the first time you can hear the heartbeat.
Yeah.
Of the
which for anybody who knows, who's ever had a woman that's been pregnant for, is sometimes you don't even realize you are pregnant until you are that far along. So that's cool.
Or even farther along.
Or for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah, so, effective immediately, John Gibson has stepped down as CEO of Tripwire Interactive. Co-founding member and current Vice President Alan Wilson will take over as interim CEO. Alan has been with the company since its formation in 2005 and is an active lead in both the studio's business and developmental affairs. Alan will work with the rest of the Tripwire leadership team and take steps with his employees and partners to address the concerns, including the company-wide town hall meeting and promoting open dialogue with Tripwire leadership and all its employees. And this is a quote from Ram Yeager, which is, I'm guessing, his Twitter handle. But he went ahead and said, proud of the U.S. Supreme Court affirming the Texas law banning abortion for babies with a heartbeat. As an entertainer, I don't get political often. Yet with so many vocal peers on the other side of this issue, I felt it was important to go on record as a pro-life game developer.
Cool story, bro.
Now,
cool story. And you win the award for voicing an opinion nobody cared about.
I can only speak for myself. And when I speak for myself, I sit here and say that I do not agree with this particular bill or law, I do not think it is in the right interest of women's health.
You can speak for me too.
Yeah.
All
right.
We share the same thoughts.
Yeah. Nobody should ever be allowed to tell my wife or my daughter what they do with their body except for them.
Like, let's just stop telling women what to do with their own bodies. How about that? How about we just stop doing that? Let them decide for themselves.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
So that's where we're gonna leave it. So yeah, this dude got fucking booted, and for being a fucking idiot and just speaking when he didn't need to speak.
Good riddance, sir.
And that's what we have in news. So we're going to hear about what we've been doing. Because we didn't play The Ascent, but we did a little something else. So let's go ahead and tell everybody what we are playing.
It's actually a real shame that Anthony's not here, because he would have had the bulk of the talking here, because he's actually been playing.
He's been running Hades hard.
He's been running Hades, and he started playing
Unraveled. Yeah, that's right.
I'm really enjoying that. So
excited to hear him next week when he talks about it.
Yeah. So for me, again, all week has just been. Well, actually, no, I did start messing around with one other thing.
Did you?
But nothing crazy. But I finished my franchise in Be a Pro, all 25 years. Finished 25-year franchise in like a month.
Good God.
I think out of the 25 years, I think I won the Stanley Cup, like I'd say probably 16 or 17 of the years. Lehigh Valley won the Calder Cup probably 18 or 19 of those years. Yeah. I drafted.
You talked last week about how you essentially had it set up to where you had like every pick in the first round.
Yeah. Yep. And the one guy that I drafted, Brandon McIntyre, ended up being the all-time Flyers leader in like everything but assists and penalty minutes. So yeah, that was fun. I did also jump into UFC 4.
Did you?
Started my career in there, met my guy. I'm literally I haven't even had my first fight yet. So
still training.
Just something to mess around with here and there when I don't have the time to like fully invest in like games like Village that I want to get back into and stuff like that. I hate games like that. I hate having to get back into because I don't remember where the hell I've been, what I was doing, what I was, so it's tough. So I like to have a game when, if I know I only have, 30 minutes, I'll mess around with a game like Chell or UFC or something like that. If I know I have an hour plus, that's when I have
something else.
Village.
I do the same thing with MLB The Show. I started a career in that. I'm a pitcher for the Iron Pigs right now. I'm on the Phillies farm team, and yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. Every time I'll be playing for hours and hours, and I'm like, something, I just need something else just to go ahead and just mess with. So then I'll just jump into the show and I'll play 1 or 2 games, and then I'll go ahead and just kind of just run through it, and then that'll be like my night.
Yeah.
But so we can start off with last night, and we went ahead and Anthony was not able to join us, so
yeah, we decided we weren't gonna play The Ascent without all 3 of us.
Nah, we made a pact on this.
Yeah, so we threw down on Xbox. Wes downloaded NHL 21.
We actually messed around with some Chell, y'all.
We created the old CGC team, played our first game. And
what a game it was.
Went according to plan. We the boys were buzzing after we got that first goal and never looked back, and we ended up winning. We squeaked a little 2-1 squeaker because they had a legitimate chance at the very end of the third period.
Yeah, they did.
They got like a luckily there wasn't like 3 more seconds left on the clock, because then it'd have been real dicey.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But yeah, we played a bunch of guys that just wanted to run around and be mutants. So
I ended up taking 2 penalties because I trip people. Because it's what
happens. You also made some sweet passes, some good defensive plays. You got some good shots on net. Just and we won.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Benoit Saint Laurent with our, he was our boy. He was the beauty of the game, man.
Yeah, like I said, dude, we both got an assist each. So
yeah,
that works, man.
Yes.
Points are points. But other than that, I've been running more with Fallout 76. I am, like I said before, dude, I am enjoying the fact of I get to just talk with people. You know what I mean? Like, there's a guy where I'm at right now that just hates talking to people. So every time I talk to him, he goes, "It's you again. What do you want?" Why are you talking to me? Like, I just love it. Dude, it's one of the great things about NPCs, man. You can constantly bug them. Now, other than that, me and the boys, we went up against a legendary the other night, and it was called a Sheepsquatch. So, just to go ahead and let everybody know, a Sheepsquatch is a combination of a sheep and a Sasquatch. So, this thing stands about 7.5 foot tall with a sheep's head and kind of like in like Greek lore, Greek mythology, like things that like goat bodies. From the bottom half down, kind of had like that, but then it had like kind of like ape hands. It had these spikes on its back that it would just kind of rage out.
So it's something from like your worst nightmares.
Pretty much. Okay. I mean, look, and not to mention, so what they do in this game is that they actually pulled lore that is actually West Virginian like cryptids.
Yeah.
Like the Mothman, which I knew about. You know what I mean? You certain shit like that. I've never heard of a fucking Sheepsquatch before in my life.
You're probably happy that you didn't.
Yes, because then I would have tried looking it up and I would have been like, I can't sleep for the next 7 days. I'm surprised I fell asleep the other night after I got done playing it. Probably because I killed it. You know what I mean? To where I'm like, okay, I've achieved something. But nah, man, it's been a blast, dude. I've gone from level 10. I think I'm a 27 now. They're doing a double XP for like a week. So so we've been running pretty hard.
Gotcha.
And dude, it's been a fucking blast. I've been having so much fun. But yeah, that is everything. So Andy, let them know where they can find us.
Yeah, I'll let them know. Man, it's so quiet in here. Rest in peace to that cricket, huh? Wes had to go, and he had to make a difficult decision. We had a cricket infiltrate the basement.
I never actually got to ask anybody whether they could hear it or not in the in the playback.
Oh. Well,
because when I was listening to the episode, I had it going off out there while I'm listening to the episode editing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even tell if it was actually there or not.
Well, Wes had to take care of this cricket. He did so humanely. He didn't feel a thing.
Yeah, my wife actually got mad at me about it.
For killing a cricket?
Well, no, because apparently a cricket in your house is actually good luck. And you're supposed to like release it into the wild again, and it got a 10-pound sandbag to the head.
A 10 pounds. I feel like that's overkill.
It was all I had around me at the moment.
That is way overkill.
It was all I had around me at the moment.
Anyway, so now's the time to connect with CGC. You can find us at consolegamingcrew.com. Drop us a line at consolegamingcrew@gmail.com. As always, the best place to get in touch with us is on our Twitter. We are at Console Crew.
Yep.
We are Console Gaming Crew on both YouTube and Instagram, and even on Facebook, which, I mean, if you want to talk to us there, fine. If not, fine too. We are a part of the Boss Rush Network, which you can find at bossrushgames.com, where it's not just us. There is a brilliant slew of other podcasts and what do you call them, blog writers? How do we call them? Content creators. We'll call them content creators. There's tons of great content creators in not just the gaming world, but other worlds as well. So please come on bossrushgames.com, check us out, check them out. And then once you're done doing that, stop by on our Twitch.
Yes.
CGC Podcast on Twitch. We have our co-op. Wes has his co-op games on Monday nights that he throws
normally
down
Dungeons
with the
and
boys.
Dragons Dark Alliance.
Yep, he does that with the boys on Monday nights. We now have Freaky Friday turned Fun Friday on Fridays. That is with all three of us.
For the Ascent.
But
if that doesn't happen on a Friday, we'll figure something else out.
We figure we'll give you something to watch.
Yeah.
And we thank everyone that hops on to watch us and give us subs and shit on there. We appreciate it greatly.
I did want to go ahead and mention that. Yeah, Janal and Shelby, thank you so much for going ahead and throwing us the subscriptions. I mean, we greatly appreciate it. Love y'all. And speaking of, we hit some charts recently.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
Yeah, shockingly. I still can't understand why, but I'm appreciative.
Absolutely.
We always say all the time that we're appreciative of anyone and everyone that listens to us and hopefully enjoys it because we enjoy making it for people.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wes every now and again sends us our like chart history from different countries and different places. And
yeah, it's a website called chartables.com. So we gave them our RSS feed, and which is basically the feed of the podcast, and then from there they can go ahead and see where we sit in basically the top 250 or top 200 in countries.
Yeah.
And normally, if you're not in the top 200, you don't even chart. Which I mean, for us, basically for us is almost everywhere.
Yeah.
But we
charted.
And
well, actually, we do chart in other countries, just not our own.
Look, we chart in Argentina, which is pretty badass. I love that. You know what I mean? Thank you to them. United Arab Emirates is another one that we chart, which is pretty cool. Saudi Arabia, we've charted before. But the one that definitely threw us off, but we're incredibly grateful for, was we were number 1 at one point for video games in India.
Yeah, because Wes sent the chart, and it said that we were down number 2 in India. And at first I looked, and at first I was like, holy shit, we're number 2 in India. That's fucking awesome. And then I was like, wait a minute, we're down to number 2. That means we were number 1 somewhere.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then, I mean, also, what's even better than that is the fact that in India, and I think Argentina, we're in the top 50 in leisure. Which leisure is a much broader group of podcasts than just video games. So that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boy, we thank y'all for listening.
Yes, absolutely. So to anybody from any of those places that we just recently mentioned, you know what I mean, we don't get much listenership there, but those people we do, we greatly appreciate y'all. Thank you. And of course, we always love, everybody who listens everywhere.
Yeah, and hopefully more people do, so we can chart in some other places.
Let's go, dude. I love it.
It's cool.
I see it every week, and I love seeing it.
Yeah, it's cool to see, man. Because like I said, we enjoy doing this. Hopefully, it comes through. Because like I said, we do it because we love it.
Yeah.
Hopefully that comes through, and yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this up the way we always do. We want to ask everybody to please stay safe, wash your hands, mask up. Please, just stay safe. And as always,
game on.
Game on, y'all.